All right, well, that's enough about Maven and NXT and Diva searches and The Miz. We'll jump into our main conversation tonight, which is Backlash that took place in Lyon, France this past Saturday. I keep assuming that it's on a Sunday, but it was on a Saturday. And yeah, the pay-per-view was great, and I think it was elevated considerably by the audience that was loud almost consistently. And I don't know where they had that energy, but it was there in droves. And one of the things that Triple H tweeted out during, I don't know if it was during Backlash. Oh, no, it was on SmackDown. He took to Twitter, announced that the fans who were in the venue actually received an emergency alert on their cell phones due to the level of noise that was being detected. Triple H said the WWE Universe in France literally received a warning about the noise level tonight at SmackDown at the LDLC Arena. Absolutely insane. Like Motorhead said, only way to feel the noise is when it's good and loud.
Hell
And
yeah, brother.
there were 11,101 fans in attendance, which like we were like Allstate Arena is like 15, 16,000. So that's kind of crazy. Like it's 11,000. It's less people, and they basically were so loud that there was another comment that I don't know if it was Michael Cole or someone there said that like the cameras were shaking because it was so loud. And I don't
Yeah.
know if it's their loudness or maybe it's the acoustics and it's just kind of a combination of it, but crazy, like crazy. That's craziness. What?
Yeah.
So let's start with that. What did you guys think of this crowd in France on
It reminded
SmackDown and
me of college
Backlash?
football. Like they're very high spirited.
Wee
Um,
wee.
it was a good, yeah, it was a good time.
Oui, oui.
We.
Oh. Um. I watched clips of the pay per view, but I mean every clip I've seen, it just feels like anytime they go to Europe, it's just that initial hunger of just wanting to have a live WWE event or wrestling event in that area. Because how often do they get to have that? I mean, almost never. So anytime they come into town, I'm guessing they're like, all right, we're gonna give it our all. Versus the jaded, American fan, maybe
Oh,
even
we
Canadian fan.
we get it
Yeah,
every day, every
pretty
week, every
much.
month,
Exactly.
sometimes
So
twice a year. Well, you know what it is? I think I mean, there's always a European tour almost every year. So, but they don't normally have
not
like a
televised.
televised events or PLE for that matter. So that was special and unique. And I think that that is partially the reason why they're so loud is because it's like I said, it's like the law of diminishing returns. If we're always exposed to live events in America, we're just kind of used to it. And maybe we enjoy it, but we're not like going to get crazy like our life depends on it because we see it all the time. At least that's
Yeah.
what I'm assuming is what's happening here with the audience reaction in France and I mean London, I mean Italy, what like all of those areas versus here. But I also feel like soccer matches and that kind of stuff that's like really strong in Europe or football matches, they're also like more crazy than like an American football match in terms of like the crowd participation and stuff. I just
Yeah.
feel like it's just always much louder at like at a foot like a European football game than even like football here or whatever you want to be putting on TV. So
Yeah, I
maybe
mean,
it's just that European spirit. I don't know.
Internationally, there's a lot of the camaraderie is different in
Yeah.
terms of being in events, like you said, like sporting events, like you said, and I think that definitely crossed over.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a different vibe. It's a different energy. It's the cultures like you said the cultures like approaching people, how you interact with people.
Like being
I,
in an indie show.
right, exactly. I
Yeah.
mean, but also like Italy was an example or France. Like people are I don't want to say friendlier, but like I feel like in America it's a little more like you have your own space and there's just a different way how you react with people. So if
Yeah.
you're in an arena with like just next to other people, I feel like there's more hesitation than like if I'm in Italy or France or even like parts of the UK. Although to be fair, in the UK they're also kind of reserved. So um but yeah, crazy audience in France on SmackDown and on Backlash, and I did watch both shows, and they were really loud on SmackDown, and I do think that they outdid themselves uh with Backlash. I think initially in the Cody Rhodes versus AJ Styles promo on SmackDown, I don't think they were necessarily aware of what they were chanting. So I got the vibe that they felt like they were just um kind of like taking over and just like making like some kind of chant that doesn't necessarily pertain to them speaking, and that's why they kept trying to talk over each other as the whole crowd was chanting. You know what I mean? Like they didn't stop to like hear it. They did in certain parts, but then they're just like, all right, let's just talk through it because maybe they weren't sure what he meant. And I felt like Backlash, once like probably AJ Styles and other people were telling him like on social media what those chants meant, because I don't know if they necessarily knew going in. They're like, oh, they're calling me phenomenal. Oh, I see. That's what they're chanting the whole time. I think then he was like, okay, this is cool.
Weird ass French people.
No,
Yeah.
Kevin Owens probably told them.
Yes. I mean, I guess it's the same kind of French as France, even though it's in Montreal. There might be a slight difference, but I think it's still just French.
I was going to ask
Moncherie.
you how many people can fit in the Allstate Arena. You
It's
said
like 15, 15 or
Okay, so that's
16,000.
Because we've obviously all been there. It's never been like that there. It's definitely been wild, but like to the fact that like the whole, like the whole show is just like doing this the whole time, like for the main event. You know?
Fucking
Yeah, like
Blair Witch
Chicago,
type shit.
Yeah, Chicago is a loud town, like comparatively speaking, in the United States, and I do think we're a loud crowd. I mean, Survivor Series when CM Punk showed up, like that was like you couldn't hear the theme song because it was so loud. And I mean, also like during WrestleMania, like at Raw, I thought we were pretty loud, but in the French, I feel like it never let up really, unless the Final Testament showed up and there was a gap in the chant, but. And someone pointed out was like, yeah, they were loud the whole time, and then the Final Testament didn't get a pop.
Fuck out of my TV, bitch.
Man.
TV.
Or the Authors of Pain, I think, not just Final Testament. Or there was Final Testament.
Yeah, there
But
was.
even witnessing the pay-per-view and like and seeing it, like the crowd, it was actually also entertaining as well. So like,
and they were also animated. Like as they were chanting, it was like like the whole thing. I will say it was annoying for me, and David, I know you pointed that out, that anytime they do two, they say it, but then they're chanting it like every single time, like afterwards too, and then they kept doing it. I'm like, oh my god, shut the fuck up.
I guess it's a common saying in their commentary.
There goes our French fans.
I mean, I did, and I did read that, and again, it just comes down to like the culture of like what is cool, like sayings and stuff that they know. I understand that, but I'm like, come on, bro, you don't have like do it when they count to two, but you don't have to keep doing it after the two finished, because then they're gonna do the two again, and they did it for every single two count. Like I was like, oh god, this is grating. But
damn,
yeah, but they were awesome, and like people that should be getting cheered as hard, I think should be cheered, got their flowers, like Naomi, like the whole glow thing. No one was doing that shit until France started doing it with like with the phones and the fist in the air. Like the entire crowd was like so behind her. Same thing with like Jey Uso. I mean, we're here like for Jey Uso, we do this, but like they got their phones out, so it just looks like bright white fireflies going up and down. That's cool.
And then Connecticut forgot on Monday.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see. Exactly. Dumbass Americans. You could have copied something cool, and now it's going to be like a domino effect because people saw the Hartford, Connecticut one, and no one's going to do it anymore because they just probably forgot.
No.
Because like, if I was them, I would have wanted to like copy the French crowd. Be like, okay, yeah, we can do that too, but they didn't.
No, dude, we're gonna make everybody do it next time we go.
It should. I feel like visually it just looks cooler. Like you got the arms, but if you got like visible orbs in the arena all doing that at the same time, that's cool. Yeah. Same thing with Naomi, like the glow stuff. That's cool. Good for her. And like I said, everyone got a pop except Authors of Pain and the Final Test.
All the heels got popped.
Yes, except the Final Test.
Everybody.
So
Everybody.
Ring boys.
So that's the crowd. But let's jump into the actual meat of the PLE. There were only 5 matches, but each match got their own amount, a good amount of time for this PLE. And honestly, I was cool with it. I liked that there were only 5 matches. I was saying this before we started recording, but I don't think you need to stuff 12 matches into one PLE like, AEW has done. I mean, that's what they did with like WrestleMania. They made 2 days because it's so big, and that's good. But like, it's a marathon sometimes. I'm sorry, it's a marathon for me. Like, if you got like 12 or 13 matches, that's a lot. So it was kind of a breath of fresh air to only see 5 matches. But we got. Let's start with the first one. So we didn't really talk about this new Bloodline, but I guess we could kind of jump into the conversation about this new version of the Bloodline with this first match. With Randy Orton and Kevin Owens versus the Bloodline
Guns
and Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga. Guns up.
Wolfpack.
Oh yeah, Wolfpack. So like, this was a really good match. It was a really good match, and again, the crowd made it even better. Kevin Owens was speaking French in this match, or was it on SmackDown? I think he did it before introducing Randy Orton,
and then he did it in his their little press run.
Yeah, but this was a great match. I mean, it started off as a regular tag match, and for like a super short while, and they beat the crap out of each other. And then for whatever reason, Nick Aldis flew all the way to France just to walk down the aisle and tell them that it's going to be a street fight instead. He could have done it, on Skype, but whatever. He probably wanted the trip.
He's the GM. He has to be there.
Yeah. Oh, that's true, I guess. But I mean, you could have worked from home. But yes, very good match. Very hard hitting. Again, the crowd was hot the entire time. Man, Tama Tonga, as a wrestler, just was really like, he just looks threatening. Like, he looks
gonna
like
kick your ass.
Your ass. Yeah, like very, very, very threatening.
And we got them crazy eyes. You just see it, you're like, oh shit.
Yes, exactly. Like, he just got out of the slammer and he was gonna like whoop your ass. But we also got a debut. Tonga Loa, is that his name? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know too much about him, but they were a tag team in New Japan, right? I think they were like 6-time New Japan tag team.
Yep. Gorillas of Destiny.
Gorillas of Destiny. That's
Bullet
crazy.
Bullet Club for life.
So what you were talking about Wolfpack stuff earlier, but where do you think this version of the Bloodline is going? Like, they won, which I thought was the right thing to do, because they just started. If you just had fucking Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga lose in like their first like Bloodline, I'm like the tribal chief type thing, you just kind of deflate the balloon immediately, before it even really starts. So any thoughts on this new Bloodline?
Everybody gonna start joining. It's gonna go the way of ECW, WCW 2000, baby. We're gonna have Dennis Rodman in that bitch. You're gonna have Drake showing up with a Bloodline shirt. Wolfpack.
Kendrick Lamar in the other one.
Kendrick Lamar. Yep. Nah. It's definitely giving me Wolfpack vibes, like breaking away from the main group and doing their own thing for a bit, for sure. And that's definitely what this feels like.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be like 30 people in like the Wolfpack or
Disco Inferno.
Yeah, we're all part of the Wolfpack.
It's gonna be very Bullet Club.
Do you think there's gonna be a face version? Like, do you think Roman Reigns is gonna have like a face Bloodline branch? Do you think that's where it's going?
Yeah, I think so.
I think he'll be face at first by nature.
Yeah, just from like sheer return.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and what? Paul Heyman's like what? Like in fear now, right? Isn't he?
Yeah, he's working in complete fucking fear. Poor Paul.
He's like,
Somebody check on Paul.
Yeah, he's like, oh, like I don't know. Okay.
He said in one backstage segment that he hasn't talked to Roman Reigns since WrestleMania,
Yeah.
which is interesting. Why wouldn't he be talking to Roman Reigns since WrestleMania? That I don't understand why that's a problem. Is it because he's not picking up the phone? Because he was so disappointed in himself that he lost?
Who knows? So, like, one thing that they kind of strayed away from is like the idea of like the elders in the bloodline.
Uh-huh.
So, like, that's who Solo was sent by.
So The
And
Rock.
maybe it'll tie back into that. Well, it might be the ones older than that, like Alpha and Sikoa and all of them.
Because I was also thinking like Roman Reigns will have his side, and then The Rock will basically have like the Solo Sikoa bloodline, and
Yeah.
then that's how they're gonna get a Roman Reigns versus Rock match, by having these two factions within the bloodline
Civil
fighting
War.
each other. I mean that sounds pretty awesome.
I hope that they do put them in War Games, and I hope I get some tickets.
That'd be sick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
you
would
know
be
what?
pretty cool.
Chicago can just be like the yearly Survivor Series.
The War Games.
Yeah, let's just have war games here.
War Games.
But that was an awesome match, and also super interested to see where this goes. I mean, I've seen like images of them in New Japan, but I haven't really seen any of their matches or any of their promo work really. Solo Sikoa is doing a great job on the mic, and I'm pretty sure Tama Tonga was he was talking too, right? Or am I hallucinating? Like he had some mic time on SmackDown. But I mean, like, yeah, I think it's building, because I wasn't sure where this bloodline story was going to go after WrestleMania, and Solo Sikoa being the leader, I was a little bit hesitant, and I mean, it's only been like 3 or 4 weeks, but from what I've seen so far, it's looking promising, and just make him look, like an unstoppable person, because historically Solo Sikoa has just lost, or hasn't been recently, yeah. Like he just kind of wasn't on any kind of winning streak, or making him look dominant. So I hope this is just their way of building that back up.
He was winning up until he went against Cody.
Yeah. He beat John Cena, right? Last year?
Yeah. And he beat Cena. And he had a really good run in NXT 2.0 when they were dealing with all of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but really impressive. Now, we'll jump into the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship match. Kabuki Warriors versus Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. Now, I'll mention the positives first, and then there was this one part that we can kind of talk about for those of you who watched the full match. But yeah, I mean, it was a really fun match. On the whole, really fun match. Again, the crowd adds another like half a star or star to this match if I was Dave Meltzer and I was awarding it, some kind of rating system. But yeah, the Kabuki Warriors, Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, they won the tag titles, and I was happy that they did, because for me, I hope that this means that they're going to do something with these tag titles, because for the longest time, it felt like they were just kind of there, like a prop. It felt like, what the IC belt and the US belt were before, like 2021 or whatever it is. Like they were just kind of like floating and doing nothing. They did a lot. They started off strong with Sasha Banks and Bayley, and then it just kind of fizzled. And then you just had people getting injured. It was passed around to different iterations of like Chelsea Green and Dewdrop and all these people, Piper Niven.
Shit.
Yeah, but yeah, like the right people won, and it was a really good match. That issue with that the last part with Jade Cargill, where she had Kyrie on her like shoulders, flipped her like up forward, and then like chucked her up in the air, and then grabbed her and then slammed her. Like if
Oh,
you haven't
yeah.
seen that, that looked sick.
Yeah, I
And
saw that.
her top rope jump when she got tagged in, I didn't see that before from her, or maybe I just don't remember, but that was awesome too.
The splash
The
was new.
what was that?
I said the splash was new.
Yeah, so okay, so it was new. So cool. Like she's adding stuff to her thing. There was this one period that was like it was like palpable that they messed up because it was her and Kyrie in the ring, but apparently Kyrie wasn't the legal person. So they were trying to figure out how to get her legal or tagged. And you can tell in the ring that she wasn't really sure what to do in that
Wait, who?
instance because Jade Cargill and Kyrie,
Okay.
what to do in that instance because it was supposed to be set up. When the ref said they weren't legal, that's not where they were supposed to go because now they're like, oh crap, well how do we get to be the legal person? So there was like this not long period, but it really felt long, like that they were trying to figure out what to do. And it was like she didn't have any move sets like remembered for this part because this wasn't supposed to happen. So there was this specific part of this tag match where there was like some finicking, some makeshift like headbutt and maybe some kind of like slam or something. And it looked like she was trying to talk to her to have her figure out what to do next. And then eventually they tagged in and did that. But like that, just that one part, it was like palpable. I was like, "Ooh, this is awkward."
They just like
watching this.
swatch spots. It's like, all right, now you walk in the thing, and now we set it up.
Well, like they tagged, like she went back and tagged, I think, and then tagged back in, and then they did the spot with like the double arm, whatever. But yeah, that was the only like negative thing I saw. But otherwise, a really good match. Jade Cargill or Bianca was in it most for the longest time, and I do think they're putting Jade Cargill in this tag match as a tag team because of maybe some of her shortcomings, and I think they want to give her more time to just be with other people who are really good, I guess, for lack of a better word. Because Bianca Belair, if we're talking about like ring time between her and Jade, I think Bianca was there for like 75% of the time, and then Jade came in and then did her thing. And again, for me, that's fine. I don't care. She's got the looks. She's got the charisma. She could be like, she's better than Goldberg. I'll say that she's better than Goldberg, especially with like what she can do. So yeah, I don't know. Did David? Did you have any thoughts, or Andres? You guys have thoughts on this specific match, or different opinions?
I unfortunately missed the match, but went back and saw the highlights because when I got to the pay-per-view, I think it was just the last match I just missed. So, but when I remember I voted for the Kabuki Warriors to win because I thought they were gonna try and have a more of a longer build up. So like at a bigger pay-per-view, they were gonna take the titles away from them.
Yeah.
But honestly, when it was all said and done, I actually felt it was the right choice to give it to the other two. Honestly, it just felt right, because like you said, like the tag belts, like even though like the Kabuki Warriors are a great team, it's just I don't know. Like it just kind of made more sense that they just hand them off now at this point, even though they just kind of just got them really too.
Yeah, I mean, and they are a great tag team, but I think the issue is like that Triple H just didn't have much for them in terms of like a big rivalry,
Yeah.
like something that needed more time to breathe. It just felt like they just had it. Like it felt like it was just part of the Bayley story. You know what I mean? Like it was a piece that like, oh, we're dominant. We have tag champs and we have a WWE champion, women's champion. So that's what it felt
I
like.
feel like they're losing kind of like ideas too, even with Damage Control, even as a whole. Like I don't know, where's it going?
Do you feel like because of like the limited English that they know, do you feel like that hinders them in terms of storylines or from like Triple H's like brain? Do you feel like that affects?
I do think so, actually. Because like like a lot of development with characters is also when you cut your promos and stuff like that. So when you're in America, and like I don't know, you're speaking Japanese, it's like the crowd's not really gonna like follow through with it. They're not understanding you either. I know they did the thing with the subtitles for a while, which was cool,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know. I think there was just a more better team to hold those belts now, and it just felt right. I mean, at first I was against it because Jade Cargill getting a belt like right now felt a little soon, but I think, like you said, partnering her up with someone else that's also very good. It was the right call.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
yeah, I
Kurt
don't know.
Angle got the WWE Championship like the first year that he was in
In the
WWF.
first year. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
he did.
I don't
But yeah,
mind it.
I don't know.
The
I
European
think it could
title
be
like 3 months in.
the limited English, but I don't know. I mean, Asuka was still very good on her own, but
Yeah.
when you put her with Kyrie, like I don't know. I don't know if Kyrie can really be on her own either. She did amazing in NXT, but like when she came to Raw, it was like different, you
Yeah.
know? So I don't know. Like they put them together and they're great, but it's like I don't know what to really do with them. Especially just like I said, Damage Control as a whole after like the whole thing with Bayley was over, which
Right.
we all saw that coming. So
I mean, you're kind of seeing on Raw that there is this new story that they're building for Queen of the Ring with like
yeah,
Dakota Kai and Io Sky. Uh, Io Sky getting her win and moving on to the Queen of the Ring
Should have been
finals.
Natalia. Just saying.
Should have. I mean, I feel like Natalia is just happy to be that, like you said earlier, fluffer talent or whatever, enhancement talent, I think is what you're looking for.
Enhanced one way or another.
Yeah. Well,
Nah, I mean.
yeah, but Natalia's kind of in that role.
But I feel like at
Tom
least like
said that
the story was there for her. You know what I mean? The Owen Hart thing, and Bret Hart I think was a King of the Ring at one point. It was all there. I feel at least just this one time they could have just like give
yeah.
her
Actually, I
this
feel
one last
like
bit.
Natalia's the one that's been there forever, and just they don't really seem to do like too much with her, really.
Hey, Natalia put over the other girls.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
and
kind of
I
just
think
seems like
she's
what
happy
she's
to.
there.
I feel like she's happy to do it. I'm sure she wants to be WWE champion again. And you're just kind of like eating a shit sandwich and grinning while you do it. But I don't know. Like she has been the WWE Women's Champion and Divas Champion in the past, so it's not like they've never given it to her. But for every time, it's also just been short stints as champion. But she's a good worker. She's a great worker, and she puts
Yeah,
on good matches. She's reliable. I
She's
mean,
valued.
yeah,
yeah.
I think she's.
Team
I
player,
mean,
huh?
it's like The Miz or I don't know, Rey Mysterio, like folks who have been there for a long time, and they're not necessarily going to throw a belt on them. Although with Rey, they have, but
For like
but
what, a minute, a
yeah,
night.
but I mean, but still, like he was like U.S. champ. They gave them the WWE Championship for one night, and then John Cena beat him and whatever. But that was 10 years ago.
Tag champ with Dom.
Tag champ with his kid. I mean, they put
Even
belts
though
on
he's a
him.
terrible dad.
Yeah,
He's a terrible dad.
but yeah. Well, we went off on a tangent, but yeah, Kabuki Warriors lost. So it was a good match just with that spot. So I just want to go through our predictions real quick and just we already talked about the bloodline. So Chris, I did, and David all predicted the bloodline would win, and then Andres, you said Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. So that's one strike on you for this match we're talking about right now. You said Kabuki Warriors, and then yeah, us three said Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. So there you go for that one.
Loser takes a shot at Malort.
Yeah, I was gonna say what should be the loser or the winner thing, because I think spoiler, I think me and David got all of them right. Yeah, because I think Chris, you missed one. You thought Tiffany Stratton was gonna win the championship,
Tiffy time.
but I thought it was too soon, and it was too soon. But I feel like she'll definitely be the champion
Before
like,
WrestleMania.
by WrestleMania. And you know what? Let's talk about it because that's the next match I want to talk about. So, Bayley versus Naomi versus Tiffany Stratton was the next match, or maybe it was the second. Whatever on the card on my card, it's the next match we're talking about. Yeah, Bayley's the WWE champion. She got that. Is that a specific Bayley chant that Fran? Because I've heard it before, but is it also like pulled from like a sports a match or something? Because when they're chanting Bayley, because I've heard that before and only in Europe again. But yeah, awesome to see that.
I know in
Um,
England they sang a Beatles song and they replaced the lyrics with her name. I believe it was a Beatles song, and originated there because I've been
hmm,
hearing it from other European countries too. I don't know if that was the chant though. I didn't. That's another match I missed that I only got to see the highlights of.
yeah. But again, really good match. This is where they saw the glow stuff and Tiffany Stratton. They just had a really good athletic, fast-paced match. I mean, I don't know what else to say. It was the right person to win. I didn't think Bayley should have lost the belt yet. She just won it at WrestleMania, and she deserved that WrestleMania moment. And I think she also deserves a longer title reign than losing it in like 3 weeks or getting, the Drew McIntyre treatment and losing the belt in 5 minutes and 43 seconds or whatever it is CM Punk said it
Right.
was. But well, where do you guys feel like it goes? It goes from here because Tiffany Stratton lost, was upset. Naomi at the end of the match was kind of like, "Oh, we had a good match," and they hugged it out and still maintained the baby face role. Wasn't that upset. Where does Bayley go from here? Who's her challenger?
I forget who's on SmackDown.
SmackDown's pretty stacked, so who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Tiffany Stratton can be the challenger again, right?
Yeah, probably get a rematch, like a triple threat. I don't know, but a one-on-one would be.
Chelsea Green maybe, or did they just shove her in NXT, or is she doing double duty, kind of like
Double
Karrion
duty.
Cross?
Who?
Karrion Cross.
Yeah, he'd be carrying that cross for sure.
Because I don't know if, I mean, maybe, like, they are tag champs, but maybe they could give Bianca Belair, because she's still upset with Bayley, because she was in Damage Control, and they did make her life a living hell, so
It's true.
I could see that as well. Like a tweener kind of thing, like, even though it makes sense, but I don't know. I don't know. I feel like Tiffany Stratton would make sense to just keep that one going. I'm trying to think. I mean, BFAB, that's not happening. Going there. Candice LeRae,
Fab.
Blair Davenport, maybe. I mean, she's going to be an up and comer, but it'd be interesting to just put her in there, kind of like Tiffany Stratton. She just started at Elimination Chamber.
She just started last week.
Yeah, basically. Like put her according to the roster. According to like I said, you got Chelsea Green, you got Blair Davenport, Elektra Lopez. I guess I didn't really see her do too much ring work, so I can't comment. You have Indy Hartwell, Mishin. Oh, Nia Jax. I mean, there's that too. Nia Jax is on SmackDown now. Piper Niven, Tegan Knox. I mean, yeah, she's got a bunch of girls that she can go to work with. But I think the one that makes the most sense, at least in the short term, is Tiffany Stratton, because I feel like there's still more juice left in that berry, so to speak.
I would say
Maxine.
so too. The WWE universe really seems to like her too. So
Yeah.
I'd like a Chelsea Green program.
I do too. I want a singles, like, because I feel like they don't give her enough. Like, the short amount of time she has on the microphone, I think she's entertaining as hell. So I don't know why they just can't put her in like a singles match. If you want to give her a WWE Championship match, maybe there should be a mid card title for the women's division. I don't know if that's that bad of an idea. Like their version of a TBS
NXT.
title.
NXT's getting the women's North American.
I was saying, yeah, exactly. You're right. So if NXT is getting one, I don't see why the main roster can't get, a pair. Even if it's like one, like the tag titles, where it's just like moving between the brands. Yeah. I don't see why you can't have one of those as well. But yeah, Good
Then
match.
you got as many belts as AEW.
Almost, but if they start having belts like fuck the world championship and stuff that doesn't make sense, then sure, I'll say that there's too many belts. Or if they have
The
like,
learning tree.
yeah, or the learning tree belt, or they get
Muhammad
another
Ali belts.
they get another promotion,
People's
and then all
champ.
those belts promotions show up. Then I'll be complaining.
People's
But
champ belt, yeah.
right now,
Participation.
it's a good amount of belts. It's a fine amount of belts.
TNA cross WWE.
Yeah. All right. Let's jump into the World Heavyweight Championship match with El Campeon Damian Priest and Jey Uso. I believe that none of us thought Jey Uso was going to win. Let me just verify that. Andres Damian, David Damian, me, Damian. Yep, no one thought Jey Uso was going to win.
I did in my heart.
You
Just not
did?
on
You
paper.
wanted him to win?
Just not on paper.
So what did you say the percentage was in your head of the percentage of him winning?
0.
Beating Damian. 0? 0.1?
A zero.
0, but my heart 100.
This was also, again, a really good match, and there was an interest that Damian Priest made a point that he wanted to win this match without any interference. And like that's the other thing I don't understand. The guy's telling you not to help, but he told him to leave, and then they still tried helping him again. He's like, no, like I'm trying to like push him away. Like, why are you doing? I don't understand why Damian Priest or why Finn Balor and the Watermelon Head were helping. When he told him not to, like after the first time they did it, and then
It's so they can break up the Judgment Day, obviously.
Boys.
But then on Raw, which just happened this past week, it seemed like they just kind of like, oh, actually no, everything's fine.
Yeah.
Like
Damian, sorry. He blew up.
yeah, exactly, and that seemed like legitimate. So I feel like maybe they're not. They're like, maybe we'll break him up. Actually, no, let's not do it.
They're going to set up a betrayal.
Maybe they're just stretching it out. I don't know, but that was a big. I think that was one of the main focal points of that match was seeing the threads of the Judgment Day kind of slowly being pulled apart a little more after Rhea Ripley's injury. I mean, like they've had those ongoing headbutts between each other in those backstage segments and even during matches, like JD never winning a match, basically.
Hey.
or Dominic Mysterio, like trying to get like LW or Legado del Fantasma and like all the LWO and just kind of like rubbing shoulders with them, and Damian Priest isn't liking that. And it looks like Carlito is going to be just an ally of the Judgment Day, kind of. That would be funny if he was part of the Judgment Day too. Because I mean, they weren't doing anything with Carlito really in the LWO. He was just kind of there.
Yeah,
So,
he even got his apple back.
Yeah, they brought back the apple. So yeah, he needed something to do. But I will. That'll be interesting to see where that goes with him in the Judgment Day. But this was a really good match. But I don't think any of us expected, nor anyone in that crowd expected, Jey Uso to win. Although he did get like an entrance like a Cody Rhodes from the crowd. Like he got a very big ovation.
It even transferred over to NBA games.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, if there's one thing that's
fucked it up.
Who fucked it up?
Hartford, Connecticut.
Of course they did. They didn't want to repeat it. They're snobs. Yeah. They're like, you know what? We don't want to copy trends.
We don't want
to do nothing. We don't like fun.
It's like super close to the WWE headquarters too, Hartford, Connecticut.
Yeah, that's why CM Punk was there, because he just got out of the headquarters because he was trapped there. Apparently, he was stuck in the office building.
He didn't have a level 6 card.
Yeah, and then he couldn't get out. He said he was a choke artist, and then made that choke joke again to
Dork.
To what's his face? Oh my god.
Dork.
No, the commentator. Jesus, why am I Pat McAfee. I don't know why I forgot his name, but yeah,
DARPA chief.
he said he's a choke artist. Another Jack Perry joke. But yeah, so very good match. What did you guys think of this? Where do you think the Judgment Day is going? Do you feel like they are going to get broken up based on the interaction?
Yeah, it's just gonna be trickle down economics in terms of that.
Slow burn, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What about Damian Priest as a champion? How long do you think that's going to last?
Hopefully not long. Just kidding.
SummerSlam.
Not Clash at the Castle? Like what's Drew McIntyre going to do? Is it going to be Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest?
Punk?
CM Punk.
And CM Punk?
No, just Punk.
So you're saying he's not even going to be involved in the championship match?
Not yet.
I don't think those two need the belt. At this point, they've carried it enough to where they don't need the belt.
Yes, I kind of agree. I just feel like with this new version of the World Heavyweight Championship, I feel like it might need some heavy hitters to add onto it to add more prestige. I know Seth Rollins was a champ for,
It's a
DP?
DP.
It's not the same gravitas. DP. No, that's a category on some specific hub site. I don't remember what it's called.
That's what our truth calls them.
He calls him DP?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Come on, man.
This is why our truth is an American treasure.
Make a shirt.
It'll be as popular as that Britt Baker shirt with the black eye. It'll be as controversial.
Somebody got to pull up the numbers. Like, is there a way to like find out how many shirts that they sold with that specific shirt? Like, who bought that damn shirt?
The black eye one?
Yeah.
I
gotta know.
Sales department.
Yo, how much y'all selling them shirts? 2?
Anyone who hit checkout and put their PayPal information, they're now on a registry in the FBI.
Yep, exactly.
They checked if they're married. If they're married, they dinged them.
Yeah.
Exactly. Now they can't purchase any firearms based on their history.
Yeah.
But
anytime
I
go to
don't know.
Chili's, there's already cops waiting outside.
Unless you get a DP shirt, then you're in the clear.
Yeah.
But okay, so if you're saying that CM Punk is in the title match and neither is Drew McIntyre, and it doesn't look like Jey Uso's being in the title match, because it seems like he looks like he's being groomed for the King of the Ring. He might win the King of the Ring.
King of the Ring.
King of the Ring. Kang of the Ring. So who would challenge Damian Priest?
I mean, I could see the run back from McIntyre. I guess they could somehow weave that back in because, I mean, who currently on Raw would be somebody he would feud with? Yeah, I mean, I guess Gunther.
Sheamus.
Face run?
Oh,
Sheamus
lost, so that doesn't make sense.
Sheamus.
Rollins back sooner than we think.
But WWE doesn't have rankings, so they could do whatever they want. So
even if you have rankings, you can do whatever you want.
That's true. Right. But then at that point, I'm like, why do you have rankings?
Just in case I need them.
But like, okay, like you can see, I could see a Sheamus because I feel like he needs to have something, right? And Gunther, I feel like Sheamus, like when they had those promos, they had good chemistry with Drew McIntyre. Like they had great promos. Like I don't know what it is. Drew McIntyre just really works well with Sheamus and CM Punk. Like he's also on like the run of his life right now. But yeah, I don't have an opponent. I would like to see Gunther be the person to fight Damian Priest, but I think that might be too soon. Because I feel like if you put Gunther in that match, he has to win because he was so dominant before, I think. So, I don't know.
Maybe by then it'll be Balor time.
Maybe.
Yeah, it could be the Balor betrayal.
That's fair.
What I'll
but isn't this PLE's in June, right? So they don't have that much time. It's a month from now.
Better work quick.
Huh?
Well, I definitely think they're setting up something for Judgment Day. They're just giving little hints, but I do feel like there's gonna be a betrayal coming.
Maybe the first match will be friendly.
No, like he'll let him win.
No, like they'll be friends when the match starts.
Like Kyle Fletcher and Will Ospreay match.
I mean, I guess another thing I didn't think about is the Bo Dallas character. Because there have
Howdy?
Howdy, yeah. I mean, we don't know if it's Howdy.
It's Howdy.
We assume it's Howdy. It could be like, I feel like it's some kind of iteration of a Bray Wyatt character, but I don't know if it's necessarily Uncle Howdy, because I just feel like as a wrestler, like in his whatever outfit they showed as a wrestling character, it just doesn't look like it would work in a ring. I don't know. It just looks weird. But
Believe in the Shield.
But I feel like maybe that's a good way of like Damian Priest getting a new challenger is by having this entity or whatever it is debut soon, and maybe that could be his challenger, because I don't think Karrion Kross is getting a title shot anytime soon. I mean, it wouldn't even work. I mean, I guess maybe there's Rey Mysterio, Ricochet,
Strowman.
Oh yeah, you're right. Strowman could. I could see Strowman or
Sheamus
Sheamus.
in there. Strowman beat Goldberg.
My God, Cat. You're right. I mean, and he also is very intimidating.
Large.
For lack of a better word, like he could definitely kick his ass, and he looks like he could kick his ass. So.
What about Braun Breaker?
Oh, that's true, but I think it's too early for him. But he still looks he looks dominant as hell. So I wouldn't be surprised if they gave him a belt opportunity. But I think in the short term, it's not happening.
Because he's on Raw, right?
Dragunov and Priest on NXT. Yeah, he is on Raw.
Okay.
Yeah, he got drafted to Raw. Yeah. So did Dijak.
On NXT, when Dragunov lost right before he went out there, Priest wished him good luck.
Interesting. Well, that might be where it's going. All right.
I'm all for it. Go Dragunov.
That would be awesome. That guy is sick. Both in the cool way and sick in the head.
Somebody's got to remind him that wrestling's fake.
Yeah, man. Like just watching that, watching the match he had on Monday with Ricochet, I was like, I think he's beating him for real. Like he's just like throwing fists and shit. And
watch his NXT UK.
Yeah, like that's insane. Like, and I think he just bleeds the hard way. Like he's not blading or anything. Like I think he's just like hitting his head, or something. Like
Goldberg
on a turnbuckle, or it's crazy. And someone should check his brain for concussions. But I'm all for that. All right, the last match, and this is another match that I think no one expected AJ Styles to win, but I think it was an opportunity for Cody Rhodes to cement himself as the champion and kind of prove himself. We all said that Cody Rhodes was going to win. I just wanted to double check. But yeah, another really good, a really good match. I would give it 4 out of 5 stars if I was Dave Meltzer, but because it's Chi-Town Shoot, I will give it 3.5 out of 4 stars because we got 4 stars on our flag. But yeah, really good match. The crowd elevates it with the chants consistently. There was no lull period that whole match. I don't know where they pull that out of their ass, but the energy was there the whole time. The promo that they had on SmackDown, and again, like the short amount of time that they had to build this match was like 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks to have some history behind them. I mean, AJ Styles like just did a great job. And someone was saying that he was basically wearing similar clothes to when he was wrestling Dusty Rhodes way back when, but I don't think that was accurate because AJ Styles is wearing like booty shorts then, right? He wasn't wearing like the long trunks, but I think the color scheme was similar.
Yeah, it was the same shade of purple.
Yeah. I was like, either that or he just wanted to cosplay the Undertaker, but or he's
That's
part
what I
of the
was
Judgment
thinking.
Day secretly.
Uh-oh.
But yeah, really really good match. I mean, AJ Styles, I don't know how this man does it. I mean, he's like 45, 46, something like that. I mean, he's doing like again some of the best stuff of his career. He doesn't look like he lost any step or he's not gassed or anything. He looks like he's in great shape. I don't know where he goes from here. Does he feud with LA Knight again? Probably not. So, yeah,
Or
but
LA
really good
Knight on
match.
SmackDown.
Yes,
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
because
He's still on
WWE champion, right?
yeah.
I could
but-
see them stretching it out between him and Cody a little bit longer. I mean, there's always been rematches for the main title belt, anyways, in the very
Yep.
following pay-per-view.
That's true. I mean, when it comes to like WrestleMania Backlash immediately, but in this instance, it should have been like a Roman Reigns rematch, but they have this whole different story they're going with that. So it made sense to have someone like AJ Styles face Cody. And again, it was basically like a dream match because I don't remember the last time they wrestled each other, if ever. I mean, I don't remember.
No, that was the first time.
Yeah. And I like that little throwback because Cody or AJ Styles was commenting on the Stardust character in their promo or the contract signing. And during the match, he did the whole like handspring and then did this. So that was fun.
Hell yeah.
But it was really good. And Cody, like they did so many finishers on each other. And there was one finisher that Cody just kicked out of one after
Burning hammer.
Yeah, the burning hammer.
The Kenny
Like, that
Omega
was-
effect.
No.
Kenta
Mhm.
Kobashi only used 7 times.
Yeah. Like it was like already like 6 finishers in. He's like, I'm kicking out at one,
Yeah,
brother.
like if that was a stored finisher, that would be like 8 stored finisher. It took 2 supers to store that finisher. And
Yeah.
Super Homelander kicked out at 1.
And then he's drinking that milk for energy.
Just kidding, he's cool.
That's what I'm waiting for, though. I'm waiting for the Homelander turn, and then you got the LA Knight versus Homelander Cody thing going.
That'll make him more interesting. But I mean, I'm sure that's going to be a layer that they add on later. But right now, that I don't think it's the time because he's still the biggest babyface. I don't know if he's the top merch seller, but he's definitely like number 2, if not number 1. So they're not letting that gravy train go. But yeah, really good match. I mean, I don't know. Again, I don't know if they're gonna have another rematch. Maybe there's. I mean, it feels like it just started. Like it did. Like this was their first match, so they might go the route of Brock Lesnar and have 3 matches that lead up to SummerSlam. Because I don't know what they do with Cody Rhodes on SmackDown from here. That's the interesting part, is to see what they do with him, because he was so intertwined with the Bloodline since he re-debuted on WWE, that now that he's finished the story, he's got it, and he doesn't have Roman Reigns in his life. I mean, he has the Bloodline on the same show, so I guess there's that. But I don't expect them to be dancing with each other anytime soon, at least not until SummerSlam. So who do you guys think should be Cody's next feud?
Well, they got to go to Saudi, right?
King and Queen. So there's the King and Queen of the Ring tournaments, but I mean, he's on the poster, so I'm assuming they're putting a championship match on there as well.
Yeah. So
Same with Becky. Oh, because Becky Lynch is also fighting Liv Morgan at King and Queen of the Ring. I'm pretty sure.
Come on, Liv Morgan.
I think she's winning.
Yeah, I think so. Because, I mean, that's the feud. Like, you have Liv Morgan do the thing. She comes back from injury.
Yeah. And you have the triple threat with Zayn Gable, Bronson Reed. So those are the 2. So, I mean, I'm expecting a WWE Championship match.
Come on, Gable.
LA Knight.
LA Knight. As the next challenger?
You can't do that to LA Knight unless he's going to win.
Yeah, it's also too soon, I think, for him. But give him some kind of belt because he hasn't had anything, I think. So, like that man deserves some kind of championship. Like you also don't want his spark to go down because you're not giving him anything crazy. Like he just worked with AJ Styles, so I feel like, since he's kind of like tied in that feud right now a little loosely, maybe LA Knight can be in the match too. Like just put in and just make it a triple threat at Saudi Arabia. That
I
could
can
be
see that.
interesting.
Yeah,
And then
that would
just
be
have
bad.
Cody win again. Like I feel like this Cody championship, like it's like the vibe is like we know he's like the guy, so it just doesn't seem like he's going to lose anytime soon. So I feel like anytime we see these matches, we're just like, well, he's gonna win. So like, what's the
Cena wins, LOL.
Yeah, exactly. So is this gonna be Cena wins long? I don't think it is, but I feel like the more you have him just like win and like not have any sense of, oh, maybe he could lose the belt.
Well, at least he
might
could put
suck.
on an entertaining match. You know
That's
what I mean?
true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's got the energy. I mean, his energy was off the wall there. Like all that French energy he was channeling. Like he was also like, I thought he was gonna rip his own skin off because he was so hyped.
We.
BFE.
Yeah. So you guys think LA Knight maybe as the Cody Rhodes contender for a potential triple threat between him, Cody, and Styles?
They could keep
Yeah.
Styles going too.
Yeah, I mean Styles might get like a clap back or some shit on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Lose twice real quick. You feel me?
Yeah, exactly.
Get another loss.
Another fluffer, as Chris says.
Yeah.
One of those enhancement talents.
I mean,
yeah. Who else would it? Andrade. You got
No, he's
yeah,
on
like-
Raw now.
oh yeah.
Or did
Is
he
he?
go to,
Is
or
it?
did he get switched to SmackDown?
No, he's on SmackDown.
That's right. He got
I
drafted
mean,
to SmackDown.
there's
You
that.
got
I mean, like,
Carmelo Hayes, but
like, why-
he just lost.
why bring back Andrade if he's just gonna be like, I don't know, just kind of there? You know what I
I don't
mean?
know.
Where's
also
where's Charlotte Flair at? Was she on SmackDown?
SmackDown.
I don't
Shit.
think she's actually on anything right now. She's just injured. I feel like they're gonna wait to determine where they want to put her. It's kind of like Rhea Ripley, where they didn't put her in the draft because she's injured.
Gotcha.
Oh, but you have Baron Corbin on SmackDown now.
Boo.
You have Bobby Lashley.
Bum ass Corbin.
Yeah, you got Dragon Lee's not doing anything. You got Giovanni Vinci as his own person now on SmackDown, so that should be interesting. I don't know
Job
what they're gonna do
King.
with that.
The Patora wore off. He's his own person again.
But you got Johnny Gargano, you got Kevin Owens, LA Knight,
I mean,
Randy Orton,
maybe Randy Orton, I guess, right?
another Shinsuke match.
Oh God.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's Logan Paul.
Well, you think as a United States champion, he'll get a WWE Championship match?
Yeah, I mean, look where they have to work that day.
I mean, I guess Logan doesn't care.
Uh,
I feel like,
Ew,
I
brother.
don't know.
just
I feel like
look
most
where
of them
where
don't
they're
care.
working that day. They kind of,
Yeah.
bro. They would have got Yokozuna if Yokozuna was still alive.
They definitely would have.
I'm
Money
just saying,
talks.
it would have made
wonder-
it happen.
Is there a deal with like Saudi Arabia up, or do we feel like they're just like, oh no, we're just doing Saudi Arabia PLEs now? Because
They came to an agreement for a length of time.
yeah, because I knew it was like for like a decade or something, but I feel like it's been almost a decade.
It's gonna be a lifetime.
They extended it to lifetime.
It's
I mean,
Saudi
they
oil
just
money
built,
too
like,
sweet.
a WWE World, didn't they, in Saudi Arabia? Like they
Well,
built like
that, and it's like,
theme
unless
park.
you're saying no on Skype, I'm not saying no.
Exactly. You got to put the knives away.
They already had an airline problem one time.
Yep. And
You did, dude.
some journalist got turned into dog food or something.
Yeah.
So
So yeah,
Not a fan.
gotta go.
So
I
yeah,
gotta go.
more Saudi Arabian pay-per-views. But why not? You know, I don't care. Like I mean,
I'm still entertained.
yeah, I'm still entertained. I mean, and you have to separate the politics from the actual people who live there because
Nobody got hurt.
not
There's
everyone
people.
reflects the regime that is currently there. So,
Sponsored by
negotiation tactics.
Sponsored by
Yeah.
ExxonMobil.
yes, BP oil.
Cricket
yeah.
wireless.
But yeah, I mean, yeah. For Cody Rhodes' next feud, I guess we'll find out on SmackDown and see where it goes from there because this upcoming SmackDown is the 10th, and then again they basically have 2 or 3 weeks between the SmackDown and the King and Queen of the Ring pay-per-view to put together some matches. And then I feel like they just like put themselves in this like weird like 2 to 3 week period stuff because then again it's Clash of the Castle, but I think it's later in June, so maybe they got more time there. But yeah, right now it's like PLE 2.5 weeks, another PLE, 2.5 weeks, another PLE. So
Yeah, NXT is going to be at the UFC Apex for their next PLE.
that should be interesting. I mean, it's just an arena, right? It's not like they're just gonna be taking place in an octagon for their matches, which that'd be funny.
No. We heard that you wanted a 6-sided ring.
Yeah, it'll be like a forbidden door with WWE and TNA, and they got a 6-sided. It's just an octagon, like a cage instead of a ring.
Brawl for all.
I got you an idea. Dana Carvey. Dana White.
Dana Carvey. I'm going to be a master of disguise.
Yeah, Dana
Turtle.
Carvey disguised as Dana White.
Turtle.
You're not turtle enough for the Turtle Club.
What a stupid ass movie.
Oh my god, that movie was so bad. But that was funny as a kid, though. I thought like the funniest part was the commercial for the movie, and then I
Just
saw
showed
the
all the
movie.
funny parts.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's a wrap for this episode of the Chi-Town Shoot podcast. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, rate us, and leave your feedback. Tune in next time for more wrestling madness. Until then, keep marking out.